Panchavapastam Tsikhasun. So we're moving on with our 13 moon teachings and learning about each of the moons. And we are on August, the August full moon. For Nihia, what we call the August moon, Opahawi Pisum, or the flying up moon. And that moon will come to us about the second or third week in August. And within the 13 moon teachings, we're taught that this moon uh, encourages us, as well as our Kehtiyak, our elders, they encourage us during this moon of August to really reflect on our past experiences from the past year and to really look back on the lessons that we've learned this year, going through either challenging events or through successes and or through things that worked for us and things that didn't work for us, and really thinking about those and looking at what we've learned during that during the past year behind us. So the lessons that we've learned each year, there we're given those lessons to try and help us to live an easier life as we move forward. Um, so just as right now our winged friends, our winged relatives, are flying up now and preparing to head to the south, they're also looking back at the past years and the experiences they've had with making the long journey to the south for the winter and looking at the lessons, thinking about what they've learned to make their flight a little easier, to make their journey a little easier. And just as they're doing that, we are told to do that as well, to look back on our past journeys or our past flights and to learn from those, take any lessons we've learned through life and remember them and learn those lessons. So it's a time to reflect on those lessons. With the water teachings, the Muskiki Nipi or the medicine water we prepare from this moon are used is used mainly to help those who have difficulty learning from their past mistakes. So people who don't learn from life's lessons and they continue to make the same mistakes, our Kitheiyak, our elders would use this medicine water collected during this moon to give to them as medicine to sort of help them to connect with their inner voice and sort of learn from those lessons that they were meant to be learning rather than to continue making those same mistakes over and over. So we're taught that this medicine water is supposed to help them with that. With this moon as well, our hunters and gatherers seem to feel a quickening of the blood because with our gatherers they go into high gear because all of the plants and all of the medicines are at the full height of their growth and they're ready to harvest. All of the berries, all of the plants, all of the medicines that you're going to need to collect are prepared and they're ready now to be picked. So our medicine gatherers are out all over the country collecting those medicines at the height of their growth and at the height of their medicinal value for the year. So with this moon as well, the Opahawi Pisum, the flying up moon, we're told that this is the moon that wakes up Wawaskisio, the elk. So with Wawaskisio, the elk, this moon puts them into their rut. So while they've been eating most of the summer and just lazying around, wandering around alone, grazing, right now this moon sets them off and they go into high gear. Our bull, Wawaskisu, they begin to uh, shed the velvet from their antlers and they begin to pawing at the ground and rubbing the trees and calling. With the females, they start to go into what we call estrus. So they begin to be preparing for mating season. So our elk hunters are their blood is racing right now because they know that this is the beginning of the elk hunting season, because it's the beginning of the elk mating season with this full moon that sets it off. For Muswa, this moon puts Muswa into preparation mode. So our moose with this full moon, they start to get ready, uh, sort of building up to their mating season, which will begin at the next full moon. So with Opahawi Pisum right now in August, the moose are just starting to prepare. And the Yapio, the bull moose, will begin to just sort of lay around and in sort of open little meadows, open areas with a lot of sun, because what they're doing is they're drying the velvet on their antlers. And so once it starts to dry up, and it prepares for them to start rubbing that, their antlers, to get rid of that velvet on their antlers. And we're told that right now, when the apio, the bull moose, are at their fattest, is when the fireweed is the biggest and brightest. So right now, during the August full moon, you'll see the fireweed is just purple and pink, but the flowers are just huge, and they're one of the main plants that you see out in the bush. But that's when our Kihtiayak, our elders, would say that's when the bull moose are the fattest. That's the fattest they're going to get for the year. So this is when they'd encourage us to try and find those those yapio, those bull moose at this time. We're also taught that during this time to expect, immediately after the full moon of Opahali Pisum, to expect, uh, at least a 4 day rain, which means it'll rain for 4 days in a row nonstop. We're told this has always happened, it hasn't changed in generations, and that rain was meant to help with Yapio, because it soaks their antlers in preparation for them uh, to start to shed that velvet from their antlers. So right now, it's not unusual to expect that 4 day rain right now. As nature helps Yapio to loosen the velvet and get rid of that velvet for them, uh, we can expect after that 4 day rain for the skies to clear and for it to be really hot and sunny, because again, their nature is helping Yapio to completely dry those antlers that have been soaked, and then it'll have them prepared at the next full moon to begin their rut and to begin shedding that velvet from their antlers. So those are the teachings that I was passed, about Opahawi Pisum. Thanks for joining me. I hope you learned something new. Kinanaskom tinawaw kah